This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, President Trump is working to distance himself from two former campaign leaders and a third person, a foreign policy advisor, after charges against them by the special counsel investigating Russian interference in the election were unsealed. George Papadopoulos, the young advisor, pled guilty to lying to the FBI as this investigation reveals the first evidence of a member of the Trump campaign attempting to directly coordinate with Russians. ABC's Serena Marshall has the charges and what they could mean for those officials.
Special counsel Robert Mueller in a 1-2 punch, making his first moves and first charges into Russia's alleged meddling in the presidential election. Mueller charging former campaign manager Paul Manafort and his deputy Rick Gates with tax evasion, money laundering, and fraud. Barely an hour later, a guilty plea from former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos unsealed. He admitted to several interactions with a Russian with significant ties to the Russian government and lying about it to the FBI. The president reacting this morning on Twitter, writing there was no collusion, and few people knew the young, low-level volunteer named George, who had already proven to be a liar. That low-level volunteer in this picture from the president's Instagram. Shortly after that meeting, then candidate Trump told the Washington Post,
George Papadopoulos, he's an oil and energy consultant, excellent guy.
On the campaign less than a month, according to court filing, Papadopoulos traveled to London and was offered dirt on Hillary Clinton with thousands of emails by his Russian connections. Those filings allege he reported those attempts to 4 senior campaign officials or advisors who offered encouragement, with one telling him, great work.
The end result is the meeting doesn't take place. There's no crime of collusion.
Today, Russia's influence, though, will be front and center, with Silicon Valley executives testifying on Russia's social media ad buys during the election.
Facebook has now revealed Russian bot ads reached as many as 126 million users during the election. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
A Florida man will spend 20 years in prison for killing a cyclist in a hit-and-run crash and then trying to hide the body. According to the Fort Myers News Press, the cyclist was struck and killed last year, and investigators say Daniel Longoria dragged him into a ditch after the crash and then tried to hide the body with palm leaves. Longoria then set his car on fire and reported it stolen. Authorities say evidence was found on and in the car, as well as at Longoria's house, that tied him to the crime scene. A Tampa man dies from a house fire, and investigators believe it was caused by a space heater. Tampa fire rescue officials say the 54-year-old died at a hospital after he was pulled out of the burning house by firefighters. Investigators say that fire started in the living room when the space heater ignited something close by. They also say the home had no working smoke detectors. A Manatee County man who sells ice cream to children is charged with sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl. Sheriff's investigators say 66-year-old Bernardo Salinas sold ice cream to the girl before sexually assaulting her at his home Sunday afternoon. The victim lives in the same neighborhood as Salinas. Anyone with information on the case is asked to call the Manatee County Sheriff's Office at 747-3011. More than $1 billion in federal food assistance has been distributed in Florida since Hurricane Irma struck last month. Department of Children and Families officials say more than 900,000 applications have been processed for the Disaster Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Nearly 1.5 million households have SNAP benefits in Florida, and they're opening up additional days for disaster nutrition assistance in South Florida, employing more than 6,000 agency staff members. Officials say this will help more than 7.2 million Floridians recover from Irma. And on a morning like this, Irma seems like a distant memory. Nice, cool, crisp weather out there. It feels great.
It is fantastic. Yeah. And it's going to be this evening as well for all the little trick-or-treaters.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's the most important thing. Yeah, it looks absolutely great. Tower Cabin this morning, we woke up and saw a beautiful sunrise, deep blue skies, low relative humidity, cooler temperatures by a few degrees than yesterday, earlier this morning. And this afternoon, I think we'll probably be a few degrees above what we saw yesterday. In fact, we already are at this hour. Our local temperatures are coming in at about 69 in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish at 68, so is Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Longboat Key. 70 in Sarasota, 69 in Venice and Northport, and 68 degrees in Inglewood, Punta Gorda at 71. Not a drop of rain across the entire state, nor will we see any today. And the 24-hour temperature change from this time yesterday shows about a 7 to 10 degree increase in our temperature over a 24-hour period. So warmer weather through the afternoon with the daytime high in the, probably mid-70s. And then as we head into the evening hour, we still have relatively low humidity, so those temperatures should drop off pretty quickly after the heating of the day goes away. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Top honors for a Manatee County school guidance counselor. In a surprise presentation this morning, Mills Elementary's Larissa Bennett was presented the Counselor of the Year award from the Florida School Counselor Association. Manatee County School Superintendent Diana Green visiting the school this morning to personally present this prestigious award.
My focus is always on making sure that our students have the social and emotional support, but my role is also to support them academically and also with career and college readiness. So
the role of a school counselor has always changed over the years, and Miss Bennett has done an amazing job in balancing that with her love of working with kids and going above and beyond every single day, doing great things with these kids and great programs.
Now, Bennett was one of hundreds of applicants from all over the state, and only one is recognized each year. Our congratulations to her. Well, an incident involving a Riverview High School student and a handgun earlier this month continues to be on the minds of students, parents, and teachers. 17-year-old Anthony Duncan is accused of showing a handgun to a student on a school bus, causing several schools, including Riverview, to be locked down for hours. Dean Doherty not only has 2 children who attend the high school, but his wife, Catherine, is a math teacher at Riverview. Doherty says prior to the handgun incident, Duncan's brother approached Catherine Doherty demanding answers about a grade that was given to a cousin who was in Doherty's class.
Puts his foot in Catherine's door, not allowing her to close it, threatening her several times, and she is absolutely distraught. And then he leaves and apparently goes and threatens somebody in the administration office.
A statement from the Sarasota County School District says, in part, from the initial reports at current time, there has been nothing to suggest a connection or correlation between the discipline of the student and the student accused of bringing the gun on the bus, other than the fact that they are related. The safety and security of all staff and students was, as always, the priority during the day of the incident. Now to an incredible rescue. A teenage surfer spotting a drowning South Florida boater and then paddling out to save his life. And the entire incident was captured on drone footage. ABC's Diane Masato has the story.
Watch as a drone captures a terrifying moment. This boat becomes trapped in the rough waters off the coast of Jupiter, Florida. The boat capsizes, throwing the man on board into the ocean. He's trying everything he can to keep his head above water when 13-year-old surfer Sam Ruskin hears his cries for help.
At first we just saw all the boxes from the boat in the middle of the sea, and we were kind of like, what's going on?
A moment later, Sam spotted the struggling boater fighting against the tide.
There's this guy, and he was coming around the inlet, so I paddled to the end of the inlet and where the current is, and I gave him my surfboard. It's really strong. I was swimming next to him, so I was really kind of struggling just to get out of that area because you can get sucked into the jetty.
Sam's dad says he's not surprised by his son's heroism.
It's about his character. He didn't even blink an eye, just went right over there, jumped off his board, handed it to a grown man, saved his life, came back and said, "Hey, what's for dinner, Dad?"
But Sam isn't letting his newfound fame go to his head.
He said thank you as he got out off the surfboard, and then I just kind of went back surfing.
He is a hero. Diane Macedo reporting there. South Florida's inlets have been the site of tragedies through the years as strong currents develop, in part from water rushing in and out of those passageways. Still to come in your Suncoast News today, is it possible to be scared to death? Well, one doctor says maybe. Why haunted houses are not for the faint of heart on this spooky holiday. And in today's Health Minute, new reports show that teens that vape are more likely to take up smoking cigarettes in the future.
It's a dangerous habit. Texting and driving kills thousands each year. Join ABC 7 and take the No Text Zone pledge.
Hi, I'm Michael Johnson, the new car manager at Venice Honda, encouraging you to help us keep the Suncoast safe by making the pledge to not text and drive. Save a life. Stop by Venice Honda today and make the pledge to not text and drive, and register to win a $100 gift card to Capitol Grill.
Take the pledge. Save a life. Go to mysuncoast.com for more information.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Already warmer than yesterday, coming in with a 70-degree temperature currently and a dew point of 40, making it feel just ever so comfortable outside and, you know, pleasantly warm, I think. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. A lot of sunshine out there, and we have a east-northeast wind coming in at about 7. I think as we head into the afternoon, these temperatures are just going to warm a few more degrees, top it off, and then start to fall around sunset. Absolutely perfect trick-or-treating weather. You know, it's hard to get a perfect day for trick-or-treating in Florida at this time of year. Most of the times it's going to be either too hot and muggy or there's going to be some rain showers around, but this day is absolutely spot-on spectacular. 70 degrees, Wauchula 71 in Arcadia, 70 in Mayaca City, Bradenton at 70, Venice at 70, Boca Grande at 71, Northport at 72, and Parrish comes in at 69 degrees. So across the nation right now, we have a couple of things going on, kind of double-barrel high-pressure areas bridging over top of a frontal boundary that stretches through the deep south, wraps up around an area of low pressure near Denver, producing some snow showers there, and some rain showers in Texas, which could actually produce some flooding rains through the afternoon as high pressure kind of funnels the air on the underbelly of that high right up into parts of coastal Texas. To the north of that, areas of snow showers in down East Maine stretching into upstate New York. Kind of what's left over from that nor'easter that was around yesterday. Now you get a little bit of breezy wind conditions, but really not so terribly bad. Don't really see too much in the way of anything that is going to be a big problem for airport landing, except perhaps Kansas City, maybe Houston and Dallas, and then areas around Binghamton, New York, perhaps could have some travel problems today because of lake effect snows mostly. Otherwise, high pressure, the dominant weather feature for us, bringing us that nice northeasterly wind shifting to the east, drawing in some moisture from Atlantic waters, increasing our dew point values, which means our nighttime temperatures are going to start rising. If it's been a little on the cool side for you during the morning, take heart. Got some warmer weather coming in the next few days down the road. Sunny skies, low humidity, just a bit warmer today, and for the next couple of days even a little bit warmer still. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance, as I mentioned, across the state of Florida. That's going to be hard to find. Otherwise, rain showers in Texas, a few snow showers on the open plains, and then some rain showers mixed with snow, kind of a dreary, sleety, cold kind of a day in upstate New York. For us, only about a 20% chance of development of this system that yesterday had a 40% chance. It's looking pretty ragged out in the central Atlantic, and really nothing there that causes any concern tropically speaking. For boating today, decent day, northeast wind shifting east this afternoon at about 10 knots, bringing you a light chop. Nice day to be out on the on the waters with those 2-foot seas. And your Scarecast for tonight comes in at 72 to 67 degrees, starting off at about sunset and going till about 9 o'clock this evening. Dry, low humidity, and nearly a full spooky moon out there, giving those little trick-or-treaters a little extra light. We look for daytime highs over the next several days to be in the low 80s. And then don't forget, over the weekend, Saturday night into Sunday, those clocks go back 1 hour. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Many people say they've nearly been scared to death, but can being frightened have any real impact on our health? Well, a cardiovascular surgeon at the Cleveland Clinic says maybe. Research shows that strong emotions, either brought on by fright or grief, can trigger our body's fight or flight response, which for some can cause an unhealthy surge of adrenaline. Doctors say there's a condition called stress cardiomyopathy in which people are practically scared to death. He says this can happen in otherwise healthy people who don't have heart problems or a history of stroke. When they have a sudden emotional response like fright, they can become very sick, but most people make a full recovery.
The average person need not be scared of being frightened to death. That's really uncommon. However, the person who's got heart failure, serious heart disease, has had heart attacks and strokes, should try to avoid these sorts of situations. Maybe don't go to a haunted house on Halloween.
Dr. Gilanoff also says it's important not to confuse stress cardiomyopathy with sudden cardiac arrest. He says sudden cardiac arrest typically results from an abnormal heart rhythm and not from being frightened. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, teens are more likely to use e-cigarettes than cigarettes, but a new study shows that may lead to smoking real cigarettes within a year. ABC News' Janae Norman has more on that study.
Vaping, billed by its creators as the safe alternative to smoking cigarettes. Inhale just the vaporized nicotine, and users are spared the toxins of traditional cigarettes. They were supposed to help people smoke less or quit entirely. But a worrying new study from researchers in Canada suggests otherwise. They found that teens who tried e-cigarettes were much more likely to begin smoking traditional cigarettes within a year compared to teens who never tried vaping at all. This effect was particularly strong in teens with bigger allowances. Teens who spent more money per week were more likely to pick up smoking. All this a worrying backslide. Youths today are using nicotine products at an increasing rate for the first time in decades, following a steady decline since the 1960s. So think twice when your teen picks up a vaporizer. Nicotine is still addictive, and vaping it may lead them back to cigarettes and to all the health hazards they bring along. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News.
All right, let's head over to the kitchen for the first time. Say hello to our guest today, Chef Alex King from Carmel Kitchen on the Suncoast. Great to have you back in our kitchen. What's on the menu for today, Alex?
Hey, Scott. Actually, it's Tom Brady today. Chef Alex is too busy with his prep list. So today, you're going to learn how to make scallop risotto from me, Tom Brady the GOAT. Stay tuned.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
There are so many things that make the Suncoast a great place to call home. ABC7's Linda Carson takes us to some locations on this Halloween that are rumored to be haunted.
The Paranormal Society of Bradenton says the admissions building at New College, formerly the Charles Ringling Mansion, is one of the most haunted spots on the Suncoast. Charles Ringling didn't live there long.
This house was completed in the summer of 1926. And Charles then passed away in December of 26, so he was not here for very long.
He died in this house. His wife Edith lived here until the 1950s. During the Depression, when the bank Charles had owned collapsed, Edith stepped in.
Instead of defaulting on any of the customers of the bank, Edith went into her own personal finances and paid back all of the customers.
The house has a large music room. Charles played many instruments, and Edith played the piano and organ.
They actually piped the organ through the entire house. So when you did play music in the music room, it went through the entire house.
That must have been a haunting sound. Cara DeComas, a New College student and a tour guide on ghost walks, says she's communicated with ghosts in this house.
We use various equipment when hunting for spirits or when we are looking for spirits. And I have used some of that equipment while waiting between classes, and I've noticed that sometimes I can start a conversation with some of the spirits that we have here.
And mysterious things happen.
For instance, one very specific classroom that I always have class in, I'll walk in there and I'll notice sometimes things will fall off desks as soon as I walk into the room.
Kara leads ghost walks through Bradenton and Bradenton Beach.
In downtown Bradenton, probably the most haunted places we have is the Hampton Inn Suites.
Formerly known as the Pink Palace. Liz Reed, founder of the Paranormal Society of Bradenton, says you meet some interesting spirits on the ghost walks. One, a small boy.
His name was Samuel, and he was one of the families that drowned in 1850 in the Manatee River when they dredged it.
And she says she often speaks to ghosts on Bradenton Beach.
We've got Pirate Miguel that sometimes answers. We have a little girl that answers that said she was on the Sunshine ship that Pirate Miguel destroyed, blew up with dynamite and killed everybody on.
And anybody will tell you here at Charles Ringling's mansion at New College, it is still filled with spirits. Spirits of goodwill, respect, and acceptance. But it is not open for ghost tours. You want to go on a ghost tour? You've got to go to the Bradenton Beach or the Bradenton Ghost Walk. There you'll be surrounded by spirits, and they may not be as nice as the spirits are here. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Well, I hope we can find Linda somewhere. All right, thank you so much, Linda. Let's get back over to the kitchen. John is there with our guest today, Chef Alex from Carmel Kitchen.
Or known to you and me as Tom, right?
Hey, John, how you doing today?
Mr. Brady? Good, sir. Absolutely great. So I love Caramel Cafe. It's a fantastic place.
Oh,
you
good,
order with the little iPads and everything. It's
a great place to come.
It is. It really is a lot of fun. And what are you cooking for us today?
Today we're going to be doing a scallop risotto with truffle oil and wild mushrooms. So
great.
let's start off.
All right.
We're going to season our scallops.
Those are big scallops there. What do you got, tins?
These are not U10s, they're 1020s.
1020s.
Yeah, and they're sea scallops.
Oh, beauteous.
All right, so we got a hot pan already. We're going to add a little olive oil to it.
Okay.
And then we're going to gently place our scallops down.
Now, the kind of the secret, I guess, to scallops cooking, as I have been told, is to use, don't be afraid of a hot pan. Is that right?
A hot pan is what you're going to do the best with. With electric ovens, guests at home, you want to turn your heat all the way up. If it gets too hot, just simply move it off the heat and then move it back, because that burner is going to stay hot the whole time.
There's a trick that I had not heard before.
Yeah, not bad, right? And over here, we're going to start our risotto. So we got our vegetable stock we're going to add, and our white wine. We're going to immediately add this is a par-cooked risotto, so if you've ever cooked risotto from raw before, you know that it's a difficult process. You're slowly adding a creamy broth, but it's going to end up with a very nice product at the end.
You have to kind of stay on top of it, don't you?
You got to watch it all the time. Yeah. Don't put the TV on, don't do anything, just stay there and watch it. So we're going to add our mushrooms. These have been par-cooked with a little olive oil, a little garlic, and a little crushed red pepper beforehand. And then we're going to go back to our scallops. Now, see, I don't like that. It's a little too hot, so I'm just going to move it away for a little bit, tempering the heat, okay?
All righty.
So this guy, same thing. I want a little hotter on here for the electrical stove, so we'll add it up.
Now, is this on the menu at Carmel?
This just came on the menu, brand new. So if you haven't been there in a couple months, please come back. We have a number of new items, 10 new items. Come back and check us out. So back on the heat a little bit. Over here, I'm going to add our crushed red pepper to the risotto. Our truffle oil. You like truffle oil, John?
I love truffle oil.
All right. Truffle oil is a polarizing thing. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
I love all things truffle.
All things truffle? All
yes, sir.
Great. And we're going to add our chives. We're going to give that a little toss. And then we're going to go back to our scallops.
Okay.
I like how they're looking, so we're going to give them a flip.
Oh, that's perfect.
Nice and brown on the outside.
Yeah. Absolutely perfect.
And then what I like to do is I put them on the heat. I'm going to add a little butter for some flavor in there. Let it cook. Perfect scallop, I think, is medium rare, medium. So you want to keep an eye on those. Butter at the end. And actually, good tip, pull it off the heat and let it sit.
Okay.
All right, so while our risotto's going, I'm going to give our scallops a little baste. All right.
So you just season those with just salt and pepper, right?
Just salt and pepper.
And the rest of the flavor comes from the, forgive the pun, but the caramelization.
The caramelization, yeah.
Sorry.
Good one, John.
Yeah.
All right, so over here, we're about ready here. So we're going to add in our cheese at the end. Again, off the heat, we're going to mount in the cheese because we don't want it to break.
Parmesan? Is that what that is?
That's Parmesan cheese, yep.
Yeah.
We put a lot of it at Carmel. All right, so again, we're about ready to go over here. So we're going to go ahead and plate it up.
Now, is this served as an appetizer or a main course?
No, this is an entree. You don't want to eat this as an appetizer. You want to order an entree. That would be bad business, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you've never been, you really do have to check out the cafe. It's centrally located there in Lakewood Ranch, and it is just a fun place with the iPod ordering. Family just loves that.
Yeah,
it's
actually not in Lakewood Ranch. We're in the UTC. We're right. If you know where BJ's is in UTC,
right?
We're right across from there. So
yeah, I guess that's not technically Lakewood Ranch, is it?
It's close.
Awesome. Well, that looks wonderful, and we want to remind everybody that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. You can get all the information you need right there, including the video instructions. Alex, thank you so very much, sir.
Thank you very much,
Pleasure
John.
meeting you. Come back
please.
and visit us anytime you'd like. We'll be right back.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? you'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. A Bradenton man previously convicted of attempted murder is now facing several drug and weapons charges. Manatee County Sheriff detectives with the Special Investigations Division have been looking into Melvin Davis's activities for several months. 20-year-old Davis is currently on probation for 2 counts of attempted murder. Detectives used a search warrant at Davis's home on 28th Avenue East and found fentanyl, cocaine, and guns, including an AR-15 inside. A controversial charter school is withdrawing its application to build in Sarasota. The Sarasota Herald Tribune reporting the district found the majority of the school's educational plan, budget, and organizational plan did not meet the district's standards. The proposed K-8 STEM Academy was proposed for a site along Beneva Road, but the school's education plan lacked a clear lesson plan for teachers and students and left the school $1 million in debt after the first year, according to a committee. Now, the company proposing that new school withdrew its application to make improvements to it and can apply again in the summer of 2019. Tampa police are passing out candy today in the same neighborhood where police are still searching for a possible serial killer. 3 people have been shot to death this month within a 1-mile radius in a normally quiet neighborhood in Tampa called Seminole Heights. The 3 victims don't know each other. All 3 rode the bus and were alone when they were shot on the street. None were robbed. Police are sifting through tips after a second surveillance video was released showing a person of interest. Bradenton police are handing out free Halloween costumes to Suncoast children today. They'll be giving away more than 500 costumes in all different sizes. They'll be available until 5 p.m. at the police department in downtown Bradenton.
Halloween's a big thing. It's big. You got a lot of people out walking around, families. You want it to be safe for them. You want to be as safe as possible. And so this lets the community know we're going to be out looking for little bumblebees and little dragons and everybody being safe and having a lot of fun.
The costumes are first come, first serve until they pass out, all 500 of them. The historic town of Salem, Massachusetts is getting ready for America's biggest Halloween party. Thousands gather at the site of the late 1600s witch trials every year to summon the spirits, dine with the dead, and immerse themselves in Halloween spookiness. More than 300 years ago, fear and hysteria triggered the largest witch hunt in American history. 20 people were executed, and those events are forever imprinted in American history. 3 centuries later, stories of hauntings and strange happenings in this historic town draw thousands each October for a massive celebration.
The Salem witch trial serves as an example of how people, when they're under a great deal of stress, can become so myopic and afraid that they don't use reason and calm judgment to solve the problem.
For a 5-year-old, it's costumes and candy. For an adult, it might be communing with the ancestral dead or some kind of self-expression or exhibitionism, the time you get to be whoever you want.
Well, originally an ancient Celtic festival marking the end of the harvest, they believe the worlds between the living and dead blurred on Halloween, which allowed spirits to roam the earth. A lot has changed over the years, of course, and today its true meaning depends, I guess, on who you ask. I guess for kids, it's going to be a great night to hang out with their friends, dress up, and get a lot of candy.
Candy! Let's get down to the heart of it.
That's right.
That's right. A lot of candy. And for me, it kind of kicks off the start of, as I mentioned this morning, the 5 to 10 pound overweight season. As we go through Christmas and Thanksgiving and
then it just,
New Year's.
Every year it just kind of adds on.
It does.
We don't lose it. That's
it does. And the rest of the year is try to get rid of the 10 pounds overweight
exactly.
season. Yeah, I know. We are looking at some very pleasant weather out there right now. Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion really doesn't show a whole lot. There's very few fair weather clouds around today. Tomorrow I think we'll see a few more of them popping up on our webcams as we head into probably the next several days. I think we'll end up probably by the end of the week or even late midweek, Thursday or so, with a partly sunny sky. Got some clouds over on the Atlantic side right now, and as the wind shifts a little bit east, some of those clouds will be kind of kicked back into our direction. Might take a day or two for that to happen, but we will see it slowly occur, especially as we start to see the moisture begin to increase. Winds have died down a little bit, and the wind forecast for the rest of the afternoon continues to show kind of calmer winds than we had around yesterday, so that'll take a little bit of the edge off the feel of the air, which is right now at the 70-degree mark at most locations, close to it anyway. So some very pleasant afternoon weather coming your way. We'll talk about that and the rest of the week in just a few. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. After a long and expensive legal battle, a judge ruling late last night that Cowboys star Ezekiel Elliott will remain suspended for 6 games. The case reigniting the debate over how the NFL should handle accusations of domestic violence and putting into question the future of the Dallas Cowboys season. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
It's a touchdown for Elliott.
That celebration short-lived. Just over 24 hours later, and Ezekiel Elliott finds himself once again kicked off the field. A judge denying Elliott's request to block a 6-game suspension handed down by the NFL over domestic violence allegations. Elliott's former girlfriend, Tiffany Thompson, alleged on multiple occasions that Elliott was abusive.
You said he hit you? Where did he hit you?
All over.
Elliott has repeatedly denied all of these allegations, and the Columbus, Ohio city attorney declined to pursue those same charges in 2016. But an investigation by the league accuses the star running back of violating the NFL's conduct policy, and the NFL, led by Commissioner Roger Goodell, leveled a punishment of 6 games suspended without pay, one of the longest alleged domestic violence penalties in NFL history.
The league took a very hardline stance here. After not taking that type of stance, where there have been other examples of domestic violence, the league was determined not to be embarrassed again.
But the NFL Players Union says Elliott was never charged and accuses Goodell of making this ruling before he had all of the information. They also argue that suspending the Dallas Cowboys star running back will cause irreparable harm to the team. The judge, siding with the NFL, reinstated Elliott's suspension effective immediately, but did grant a 24-hour stay for either side to appeal. If the suspension holds, Elliott won't be back on the field until December 17th. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Meantime, Houston Texans owner Bob McNair did not meet with the NAACP after he was invited to for his inmates running the prison comment. And while he did not show due to health reasons, the group revealed how they'd like to see the Texans owner respond to their concerns.
Regardless of what was said or what the intent was, regardless of whether it was an old cliche or whatever, nobody could have a discussion about players protesting for criminal justice reform and make any cliche statement referencing inmates. That just didn't add up.
Upset at the fact that the privilege that he has to say that, and there's not going to be any real repercussion behind it.
McNair released a statement saying, in part, I was not referring to our players when I made a very regretful comment during the owners' meeting last week. I was referring to the relationship between the league office and team owners. According to the Texans, team officials are willing to meet with NAACP leaders in the future. Two University of South Dakota football players are in trouble with the law. Dale Williamson Jr. and Danny Rambo Jr., both facing charges of second-degree rape. The two turned themselves in yesterday. Police say the alleged incident happened earlier this month. In a statement overnight, University President James Abbott says the school is cooperating with the police. The College of Charleston in South Carolina is investigating controversial Halloween costumes being tied to the school. Reporter Alexis Simmons spoke to some students.
Photos of Halloween costumes posted on social media are being called racially insensitive by the president of the College of Charleston. They show one person in a prison jumpsuit with the name Freddie Gray on the back.
First initial thought was, wow, this is very dehumanizing. Like, the black body doesn't mean much to, white people, because that's time and time again, that's who we are constantly trying to let know that we do matter.
Freddie Gray died in Baltimore police custody. His death raised questions about police brutality, but charges were later dropped against the officers involved in the case. Laneza Clarkson is the Black Student Union president at C of C, and Bria Dantzler is the founder of an outreach organization that serves as a voice for times like this.
I can't really sit back and believe that people don't know what they're doing when they do it. So it's really distasteful to see things like that. I think it's very disheartening to see things like that.
BSU says the photo of the student with the Freddie Gray jumpsuit attends C of C, and the photo was taken by a C of C student, while the person who uploaded the photo says the other students are from schools in Baltimore, and the person in the Freddie Gray costume recently graduated from a school in that area. This other photo shows a young man with the N-word written on his back, and this photo shows two people dressed in jumpsuits. The text reads, "N-word broke out."
It's terrible that it's at the school I go to, so, you hate to see it anywhere, but especially somewhere here.
This is something really important. If you're not offended by the situation, you are a part of the problem, and we want to make you aware of what's going on and that it's happening right here.
That's Alexis Simmons reporting. The president of the College of Charleston said in a statement that appropriate action will be taken if any school rules were violated. The Black Student Union is calling for any students involved to be expelled. Still to come on your Suncoast News, if you haven't decided what to be for Halloween, we'll tell you which costumes will be the most popular this year and which ones will likely flop.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or been diagnosed with another asbestos-related cancer, call now. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Thousands of hardworking men and women have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers put profits ahead of safety. Manufacturers knew the risks of asbestos exposure for years, but knowingly manufactured and sold deadly asbestos-containing materials, putting millions of American workers at risk. These manufacturers have tried to avoid compensating their victims, but the courts have ordered them to set aside an estimated $30 billion in trust money for the victims of asbestos. Call now to see if you're entitled to a portion of the $30 billion. You could receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or going to court.
Call 1-800-990-7362 now for a free legal consultation. Again, that's 1-800-990-7362. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 70-degree air temperature with plenty of sunshine out there and a dew point coming in at a very pleasant 40. This is one of those beautiful Suncoast days that, you know, lock into your memory and bring out when you need it, because this is absolutely picture-perfect weather. And it's rare on a Halloween to get this kind of weather, but boy, it sure is nice. East-northeast wind coming in lightly at about 7 across the region. Temperatures are gorgeous. 70 in Arcadia, 70 in Venice, 70 in Northport, 69 in Parrish, Bradenton, Wauchula, Myakka, Lakewood Ranch, Longboat Key. Everybody is benefiting from an absolutely fantastic day. With high pressure, the dominant weather feature, we have a nice easterly wind flow developing that is going to bring in a little additional moisture from the Atlantic. With time, that might cause a few fair weather clouds, might bring in some warmer nighttime temperatures as well over the next few nights. So if you felt it's been a little on the cold side, or if you've had to heat the dry air, making it even drier still, and that has been a bother to you, take heart. That is about to change. High pressure to the north of us and to the south of us kind of bridge and become one as this frontal boundary eventually just washes away. We are left with this high pressure ridge bringing us just absolutely gorgeous weather, and that easterly flow continuing for several days. Well, kind of varying between east and northeast. Sunny skies, low humidity, and just a little bit warmer over the next few days, but not terribly so. Only gaining probably another 6 degrees tomorrow. So the dry air indicated here on our water vapor imagery by this tan colorization at mid and upper levels of the atmosphere is a plume that carries all the way into Mexico off the Chihuahua Plateau. And so we're looking at really very little chance of rainfall right straight into the weekend. Yesterday I had a 20% chance of rainfall for the weekend. I'm not even sure I see that now. We are looking at such dry conditions aloft that rainfall is going to be really hard to find. A few fair weather clouds in the futurecast put into motion does show the effect of that easterly wind kind of picking up some moisture from the Atlantic and drawing it back in this direction with a few fair weather clouds. There might be a sprinkle or two over on the other coast over the next several days, maybe a 20% chance there, but any of those showers making it into our neck of the woods, it's going to be tough to see, I think. Titan radar right now not showing a drop of rain around here. And beautiful boating conditions as well. Northeast wind at about 10 knots. Should be a lovely sunset tonight. East wind at about 10 knots, 2-foot seas, light chop on your bay and inland waters. We have the trick-or-treat forecast for you this evening. It's just spectacular. 72 degrees probably around sunset with 67 or so by the time we get to 9 o'clock or around there. Dry, low relative humidity. Not a chance of rain, nearly a full moon out there. The full moon comes our way on Saturday. And by the way, Saturday will be International Moon Observation Day. So if you have one of those telescopes gathering dust in your closet, you may want to dust it off and take it out over the weekend. It's going to be beautiful, clear skies for the most part to view a big, bright full moon. So for the next several days, we'll look at some pleasant conditions, 80 degrees for tomorrow, and low 80s for the rest of the week. And don't forget, 2 a.m. Sunday morning when you go to bed Saturday night into Sunday morning to turn that clock back as we fall back another year. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Dressing up for Halloween can get political. We know that. Last year, stores were flooded with Donald Trump masks and Hillary Clinton power suits. Reporter Mary Maloney explains why you won't see many similar ones this year.
During election years, popular Halloween costumes are political. Last year, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton themed get-ups dominated. But when there isn't a campaign going on, political costumes aren't as popular. This year, though, could be different. According to the National Retail Federation, 1.5 million American adults will be inspired by the headlines. That's 200,000 fewer people who got political last Halloween. But the politically charged costume is still in the top 10. Google has its own list compiled from search data. It says Wonder Woman reigns supreme as the most searched Halloween costume this year. So expect to see more lassos of truth and less political masks at Halloween events. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
So the Donald costumes were so 2016. A new survey from Ebates found that political figure costumes are the last thing Americans want to see this Halloween. So what costumes do you want to see? Well, more than half want to see funny costumes, and then it trickles down to scary, popular movie, TV show characters and classic costumes like witches or clowns. And a free website is helping kids avoid tricks this Halloween. Nextdoor is an app similar to Facebook, but on a smaller scale. Some residents in Sarasota's Indian Beach Sapphire Shores community have used it for years as an online message board for the neighborhood. But today on Halloween, you can mark which homes will be passing out candy and which ones will not.
It sort of vets you as somebody who's been around the neighborhoods.
Rather than just having people walk around with empty bags. I thought it was really cool to just mark off your name.
Nextdoor uses public record to block registered sex offenders from creating profiles, and local law enforcement is also logged into the app to monitor crime trends in the area. As a reminder, we want to let you know you can get information on the latest breaking and local news stories by downloading the new ABC7 app. This is the latest version. iPhone users can go to the App Store and search for WWSB or My Suncoast. You have to download the new version. It won't just automatically update as it will for Android users. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a producer from a popular TV reality show, The Bachelor, is suing Warner Brothers for sexual harassment. The company is responding.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
House of Cards is crumbling amid allegations that star and executive producer Kevin Spacey made sexual advances on a minor 30 years ago. Netflix says the upcoming season next year will be the last for the drama. The show has won the streaming service 2 Golden Globes, 4 Emmy Awards, Netflix stresses the decision to end the show was made before the Spacey scandal. It says it is deeply troubled by the claims. It seems as though the Harvey Weinstein scandal has opened the door to sexual assault scandals in Hollywood, and now the Los Angeles Times is reporting that a former segment producer for The Bachelor reality show has filed a lawsuit against Warner Brothers and 5 producers of the ABC program. The woman claims she was sexually harassed and forced out of work after she complained. But Warner Brothers is fighting back, releasing a statement yesterday saying that it was disappointed by the woman's lawsuit. It seems to be a new one every day as more and more people are stepping forward.
Yeah.
I am just so thrilled for all the kids out there that the weather tonight is going to be so nice for trick-or-treating.
I know.
Yeah.
It is just going to be spectacular. Look for a daytime high for most of us in the mid-70s, and then for trick-or-treat time, absolutely dry, not a drop of rain, low humidity, and temperatures in the 70s, low 70s.
Perfection.
It is.
Yeah. John, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock.